Good morning, Year 6. So your next lesson this week is that we are learning to add and subtract numbers. Now this is something that pretty much everyone in Year 6 was really strong at, but like I mentioned in the previous lesson, we are going to spend this week just reviewing a few of the things that we've done over your time in Year 6 and also your time in St Joseph's, just because it's important that you keep fresh on these really crucial skills so that when we are back in school, hopefully in a few weeks' time, we can just pick up with some new learning rather than having to go over lots of things that we've done. So that's what we're looking at today, adding and subtracting numbers. We'll look at whole numbers and we'll also look at some decimals as well. So first of all, let's have a look at this addition. So we've got a 5-digit addition add to a 4-digit addition. 46,387 add 2,183. So I've got those numbers and I've put them here. Now, I just want you to have a look. What error has been made here? It's probably the most common error that we see with these additions. Hopefully that you've spotted that the numbers haven't been lined up correctly. If you look at this top number here, this 4 is in the 10,000s column, isn't it? Whereas if we look at this number here, there isn't a 10,000s column in here because the largest number is the 2, which is in the thousands, so they haven't been lined up correctly. So that is the error with this one here. So if we look back to this number and we were to line them up, remembering that they have to be put underneath, so sometimes it's easier to line up from the end. So the 3 goes underneath there, the 8, the 1 and the 2, and the gap is here, which is where it should be. And then remembering when we add, we always start from this ones column, start from here rather than at this end. We'll always get the wrong answer starting here, because then if numbers need to be carried over, then it's because they get large and goes up to here. So 7 and 3 is 10. So the 0 goes there and the 1 goes over there into that tens column because it's 10, isn't it? That's why it gets carried over there. 8 and 8 is 6 and 1 is 7. 7 goes there, the 1 goes over there. 3 add 1 add 1 is 5. 6 add 2 is 8, and then there's nothing to add onto the 4, so that can just come down. 48,570. And it looks, if we look at these two numbers, it looks like a sensible answer, doesn't it? Whereas if we'd done it the other way, the answer would definitely have been incorrect. So let's have a look at this one here. It's a subtraction and is a decimal subtraction. So we've got those same numbers, and again I've lined them up here. Now just have a look what error has been committed here, what mistake has been made here. Hopefully you can see these 2 decimal points. Now my class were absolutely sick of me going on about this all this year. The golden rule of decimals. The golden rule of decimals, what is it, Year 6? Hopefully you're all shouting at your laptops or your iPads or whatever. That is to line up the decimals, need to be one on top of another. And you can see here they're not lined up. So if we were to begin to do the subtraction here, it's going to be wrong because they're all lined up incorrectly, aren't they? So if we were to go and even if we were to go ahead and do this subtraction here, then where do we put the decimal? Do we put the decimal point here and here? You can see that if we just put it in one place, or do we put it here? That's why it's absolutely crucial to line them up so that the decimal point is in the same place. So if we take this number, the decimal point has to be on top of it. So the 4 here and the 2 is there. It's a subtraction. Now we've got a few places here, a few plugs if you like, and we can fill those in if we want to. So 1 take away 0 is 1. 2 take away 2, 0, and the decimal point gets lined up there, one on top of another. 3 take away 4 we can't do. So that becomes 6, that becomes 13. 13 take away 4 is 7, 6 take away nothing is 6. So there you can see the answer, 67,000.01, with those decimal points lined up one on top of another. Whereas this one that we looked at a minute ago, you can see that the answer was wrong no matter where we put it. The answer would have been incorrect. So it's absolutely crucial when you are adding or subtracting with a decimal that decimal point is just stacked up one on top of another. So otherwise your answer will always be incorrect. Even if you do the addition or the subtraction correctly, your answer will always be incorrect just because it has not been lined up. So let's have a go at another one, and one I've written out, you can have a go at solving this yourself. So 32.18 add 7.9. So if you pause the video there, year 6, and could you have a go at solving that one for me? Okay, so if we are to do this, remember that decimal point needs to be lined up. Probably a good idea to do it first and then put the 7 in that ones column and that 9 after it in the tenths column. It's an addition, and we've got a couple of gaps in here, haven't we? So let's plug those gaps. Yeah, because there are no tens and there are no hundredths, but we can add them in there because it makes it a little bit more straightforward to do the calculation. Remembering that it's an addition this time. So 8 add 0 is 8, 9 add 1 is 10, so 0 goes there, the 1 comes over into the ones column. Then we can add these up to get to 10 again, and then 4. Now, at the moment, my answer says 4,008. We know that is definitely wrong though, don't we? Because this number is very close to 32. This number is very close to 8. So our answer should be about 40, shouldn't it? Remembering that decimal point needs to be lined up one on top of another to get to 40.08. You see, if that doesn't go in there, how wrong the answer is. It needs to go in there, really crucial, otherwise it's 100 times too big. Okay, could you have a go at this one for me then? Year 6. 432.7 subtract 9.67. Could you have a go at writing that out and then pausing the video and then unpausing it to see if you get it right? Okay, so remembering again, golden rule of decimals, line up the decimal. So I've put it there, the 9 goes here, 6 and 7. You can see again, we've got a few gaps, haven't we? So we can plug them. Remembering it was a subtraction. Okay, and now we can solve this problem. It's always a good idea at this point to have a bit of an estimate about what you think the answer will be. This answer, this number here, 432, is very close to 432, isn't it? Or 433 if we were to round it. This number here is quite close to 10. So our answer really should be reasonably close to 422. Our answer should be around that number, shouldn't it? So let's solve it and let's see. And if our answer is way off, then we can look again. 0 take away 7 we can't do. So we need to exchange from here. This 7 becomes 6 and then this becomes 10. 10 take away 7 is 3. 6 take away 6 is 0. Let's get that decimal point lined up. 2 take away 9 we can't do. So this 3 becomes 2. This becomes 12. 12 take away 9 is 3. 2 take away nothing is 2. 4 take away nothing is 4. Now remember we had a prediction earlier on that our answer would be about 422, and you can see it's just over 422, isn't it? So it looks like a sensible answer. So because of that, we know we will leave it there. Remember, if I don't put in that decimal point, look how large our number is. Our number is 42,303. So remembering that golden rule of decimals. And if you haven't put that in, even if you do all these calculations up here correct, you still get to the wrong answer. Decimal point is absolutely crucial with that. Okay, so let's have a go at one more, and then you can have a go at some yourself. So let's have a go at a larger number. Let's do another subtraction. Okay. So pause the video there, have a go at that for me, year 6. Right, so it's a subtraction again. Let's line them up so the decimal point goes underneath. This one goes there, the 6 in the tens column and the 9 in the hundreds. And again, let's plug those gaps. Makes it just a little bit easier to do our subtraction or our addition, doesn't it? So 3 take away nothing is 3. We can't do 8 take away 9 because 9 is bigger. So this 0, this 1 becomes 0, and then that 1 comes over here to turn that into 18. 18 take away 9 is 9. We can't do 0 take away 6, so again we need to exchange. This 7 becomes 6, that becomes 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. 6 take away 1 is 5. 2 take away nothing is 2. And 3 take away nothing is 3. Now at the moment our answer is 325,493. Obviously incorrect. Need to line that up, and that looks like a sensible answer to me. 325.493. So year 6, if you can have a go at those questions that are attached to this, and then have a go at solving them, send them back to your teacher. Okay, remembering if any of you have any decimals, remember to line them up. Okay, thanks a lot, year 6.